The eldest among them gave him answer, the leader of the troop unlocking his word hoard. We are of the people of the Geats, their kin, and hearth brethren of Hialak. My father was well known to many peoples, a noble first at the front called Edgethale. He endured a host of winters before he went his way, aged in the yards. Readily will every wise man remember him widely throughout the world. We come with loyal hearts, seeking your lord, the son of Halfdan, the bulwark of his people. Be good to us in your instruction. We have a mighty mission to the famous king of the Danes, nor must anything be kept secret here, as I see it. You know too well, if we hear it said truthfully, that among the Shieldings is some sort of Shather, an obscure deed-hater who reveals in the dark of night a purposeless malice through his terror, both in infamy and gloating of corpses. Out of my capacious spirit, I can teach Hrothgar this good counsel, how he, wise and excellent, can vanquish this fiend, if reversal should come to him, a ready cure for his baleful cares, and his sorrowful wellings become the cooler. Or else, afterwards always, he must suffer his wretched days, his close calamity, so long as the best of houses stands there upon the tall hill. The warden spoke out, sitting there upon his horse, a fearless servitor. He who thinks well, a sharp-witted shield warrior, must ponder the distinction between words and works. I hear that fact, that this company is loyal to the Lord of the Shieldings. Go ahead, bearing your weapons and battle tackle. I shall guide you. Likewise, I shall command my junior watchman to keep your ship on the sand, and hold this fresh-tarred float against every enemy, with honor, until it carries again whichever beloved man of your right-performing troop, across the deep currents, the wooded winding neck, unto wetterish marches, as is given to escape, unharmed, the battle rush. So they turned themselves to go. Their float waited in its mooring, swaying on the sea, fast at anchor, the broad-bosomed boat. Helmets shone boar-fashioned over cheek guards, adorned with gold, flecked and fire-hardened. The masked man, war-minded, held the life warden. The men hurried, advancing in step, until they could perceive the timbered hull, magnificent and gold-spangled. It was among the most famous of houses under the heavens among all earth-dwellers. And inside waited the king. Its rays of light blazed over a bevy of lands. Then the battle-brave soldier showed them the bright house of Haemun, so that they could aim straight for it. That certain war veteran steered his horse away, speaking a word after them. It's time for me to turn back. May the all-wielding Father keep you all sound with gracious care on your mission. I wish to resume my watch by the sea against wrathful hosts. The street was stone-fretted, guiding the way for the men in rows. Their war burnies glittered, hard and handling. Shining ringed iron sang in their setting, when they came marching even to the hall, in their terrible war coats. Wearied from the sea, they set down broad shields, bosses shower-hardened, against the wall of the building, then bent down to benches, sarks resounding, the war armor of men. Their spears stood, seaman's tackle, leaning together, ashen shafts gray at the tip. That metal-bound troop was worthied and weaponed. Then a proud noble asked the chosen champions about their lineage. From where have you all ferried those fretted shields, grey hauberks, and masked helmets, this forest of battle shafts? I am Hrothgar's herald and servant. Never have I seen many strange men thus, more haughty of bearing. I reckon that you come in pride, hardly in exile, but seeking Hrothgar out of majestic intentions. The courage-bold one answered him then, the chieftain of the Weders, speaking a word after, hardy under his helmet. We are the table comrades of Higelac. Beowulf is my name. I wish to speak to the son of Halfdane, that famous prince, your lord, about my errand. If he wishes to grant us the favor, that we may approach him so excellent. Wulfgar spoke in reply. He was a prince of the Wendels. His mindful spirit was known by many, his valor and his wisdom. I gladly will inquire with the friend of the Danes, the lord of the shield, dispenser of rings, and famous prince, as you are petitioning about your mission, and will presently make known the answer that the good man thinks to return to me. Hastily he went to where Hrothgar sat, old and hoary, among his company of nobles. He went, courage bold that he stood by the shoulder of the Danish lord, knowing the glorious custom. Wulfgar presented his message unto the friendly lord. Here have some foreign travelers of the Geatish people over the oceans coursing. Their champions name their oldest as Beowulf. They are requesting that they, my prince, may be allowed to exchange word with you. Do not ordain them a refusal, gracious Hrothgar, in your straightforward reply. They seem worthy in their war gear, in the esteem of nobles. Indeed, their chief is most competent, he who guided these battle warriors hither. Hrothgar gave reply, the helmet of the Shieldings. I knew him when he was still a boy. His late father was called Ecgtheow, to whom Hrethel the Geat gave a home and his only daughter. Now his ardent heir comes here, seeking a loyal ally. The sea venturers used to say then, those who carried coined gifts to the Geats thither as thanks, that he had the strength of 30 men in his hand grip, and fame in war as well. Holy God has sent him to us as a support to the Westanes, as I have hope, against the terror of Grendel. I must offer treasures to that good chieftain for his mindful courage. Be of haste, bid their allied band to enter and be seen, gathered together. Say to them wordfully as well that they are welcome among the Danish people. Then Wulfgar went to the door of the hall, announcing his word from within. My victorious lord, ruler of the Eastdanes, has ordered me to tell you that he knows of your heritage, and that you are welcome by him here, hardy hearts from over the seas whelming. Now you may come inside in your battle wear, under your war masks, to see Hrothgar, but let battle boards await here, and the wooden shafts of slaughter, the outcome of your words. Then the powerful one arose, about him many warriors, a band of mighty things, some of them waiting behind there to keep watch over the war weapons, as the hardened one ordered then. They hastened together, that man guiding them under Herod's roof. The battle brave went forth, hard under helmet, until he stood at the hearth. Beowulf made a speech, his byrnie shining on him, the intricate mail sewn by the clever thoughts of the smith. May you, Hrothgar, be well. I am Higelac's kinsman and dear thane. I have performed many mighty deeds in my youth. The notorious matter of Grendel became known to me in my homeland. Sea travelers are saying that this hall, the best of houses, stands idle and unavailing to every warrior after the evening's light. The brightness under heaven becomes obscured. Then my tribesmen instructed me, the best of our wise men, that I should seek you, Prince Hrothgar, because they knew my skillful power. They observed it themselves when I came back from sorties, splattered by my enemies, where I bound up 5 warriors and destroyed a tribe of giants, and among the waves struck down many water beasts by night. Enduring many close calls, avenging malice against the waders, they asked for their woes. I ground down our oppressors, and now, against Grendel, I must pay him back alone, that wretched monster, that demon. Just now, I wish to ask you one thing, Lord of the Bright Danes, hedge of the shieldings, one single favor, that you do not refuse me this. Shelter of warriors, generous friend of your people, that now that I have come so far, that I be allowed to cleanse Herit alone with the band of my warriors, this troop of hardened men. I have learned as well that this monster, out of recklessness, reckons not of weaponry. So I shall disdain them, that Higelac might be most pleased at heart, my lord of men, not bearing any blade or broad shield with yellow boss into the battle, but I must grapple with the fiend with grip alone, contend life against life, hate against hatred. There he must trust in the judgment of the Lord, he whom death seizes. I reckon that he will, if he is allowed to win in the war hall, fearlessly devour Geatish warriors, just as he has often devoured your glorious troops. There will be no need at that moment to cover my head, but he will have covered enough, blotted with blood, if death seizes me. He will bear me to bloody slaughter, thinking to taste me. The solitary stalker will eat without the slightest regret, marking his swampy lair. There will be no need to sorrow for long over cleaning my corpse. Just send Higelac, if the contest conquers me, this best of battle clothes that wards my breast, finest of garments. It is an heirloom of Hrethel, the work of Wieland. The way of the world always goes as it must.